me to sleep.
The entire community pulling together, filling buckets of water and using hoses to tackle the blaze.
And then I opened my door, I saw the fire, so
the rest of the flames.
How long have you been here doing that?
But
3 hours.
Thankfully, there were no reported injuries. One resident expressing gratitude for making it out alive.
It happened very sudden, and I feel for the Ellis family. They've been my family since I've been here in Bimini since I've arrived. I'm posted here as a teacher, so I'm just grateful right now. Right now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I believe that if we had a fire engine in Bimini, he probably would have been living in this house this morning, because we could have secured it, get the top and secure the bottom.
I feel bad for the people who because if Miss Julie house to get on fire, even more.
She was in there. She was sleeping.
Yeah, that would have gone on my Grammy house, and all our things was gone.
Despite the devastation caused by the fire, the community is determined to move forward and begin the process of recovery. According to a local contractor, the estimated cause of damage is well over $300,000.
It's poor people. It's not people that well situated. So they need everybody to pitch in.
Now, upon hearing the news, the government quickly responded. The Prime Minister, along with the Minister of Health and Wellness and the Member of Parliament for the area, flew to Bimini to assess the damage and meet with the affected residents.
We want to see what we can do in respect to lending assistance to bring normalcy back to the lives of those persons who would have, in fact, suffered as a result of this.
Following the devastating inferno that left over 10 people homeless, an emergency meeting was held at the courthouse in Bimini. The nation's leader commended the community for their unity in coming together to help one another during this difficult time. The government has pledged its commitment to providing the necessary assistance to those affected by the fire.
I want to lift this tragedy up to the Bahamas and speak to how Biminites came together and averted a greater catastrophe. That, because of the way Bimini is laid out, it could have been worse. And as someone said, God is good. We thank God that there's been no loss of lives.
A swift response from the Minister of Social Services, who was the first to arrive on the ground and meet with affected residents.
We have secured apartments, and they all will be assigned immediately after. We've also secured for you to visit Muckamucks to purchase and to get some attire, some clothing that's necessary. And our social services team have already prepared the slips for you to be able to go to the shops immediately to purchase food.
Officials from Urban Renewal have begun their assessment of the affected area, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs has mobilized a team to visit the island and begin replacing important documents such as passports. However, there were concerns raised during the meeting.
We understand the need for not only the ambulance, but we also understand the need for fire equipment. And that now takes priority.
I want to say to those who are in close proximity, if you develop any symptoms or signs of any sort of respiratory distress or dizziness or any medical concerns, our clinic and our medical staff is standing by to respond in a very quick way.
Following the meeting, the Prime Minister and other government officials visited the affected area to assess the damage and offer support to impacted residents. In other news, members of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors and Allied Workers Union staging a protest today at the Sister Mary Patricia Junior High School. The teachers on campus say they are fed up with the working conditions and want their issues to be addressed. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
Ms. Hinder needs training or she has to go. Ms. Hinder needs training or she has to go.
That's the cry of teachers fed up and tired from being harassed, intimidated, and bullied. Bahamas Educators and Allied Workers Union came to Sister Mary Patricia Junior High School to meet with their members to hear about their concerns, but were locked out of the school gate. The union members are saying this type of behavior is unethical and unacceptable. Martha Edgecombe Bakawu, Area Vice President, explaining that they met with the district superintendent on Friday to discuss grievances by some teachers. A meeting was planned and they were able to reach an agreement prior to that meeting. Today she received a call from one of the members at the school that the DS showed up on campus and met with the school administrators without their knowledge.
Which we were not aware of that, and that is not what was communicated to us prior. And so this is nothing that we anticipated that would happen first thing Monday morning. To that note, our executive members decided to come on campus, speak with our members to try to get an understanding of what actually took place this morning. But when they showed up, the gates were locked, so we had no entry on the campus. The members on the campus had no exit off of the campus, because not that the gate was closed, it was physically locked with the chain and the padlock.
Edgecombe says that the grievance procedure is an ongoing issue and teachers are struggling and burnt out.
There are many teachers on this campus who are struggling and suffering right now because of the hands of the principal on campus. And so when you listen to members and they're saying what their issues are and they're crying, tears are rolling down their eyes. When you listen to members and they're saying that, they feel mentally drained and challenged, those are issues.
Teacher Cindy Lewis says the antagonizing began earlier this year in January, stemming from a pageant that she headed and unfortunately forgot to announce the principal's name during the vote of thanks. Since then, she says the principal has treated her poorly.
Ever since then, it has been just harassment on a constant basis. I would do my best to avoid her, stay in my classroom, do my job, yet she would go out of her way to walk into my classroom while I have students in the front of me and hand me written letters. She would have since given me two letters stating that I was delinquent in my duties.
The teacher goes on to state that some teachers have missed classes due to anxiety and stress.
It really has gotten too far because we have teachers, for example, in my case, I've already been out for the week simply because of anxiety. Simply being here is affecting my mental health, and I'm sure there are several other teachers who are suffering as well, and it simply just needs to stop.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Julanda Thompson Everest.
Now our ZNS News team reached out to the principal, Janice Pinder, but she declined to comment. The District Superintendent of Education for Grand Bahama Bimini added the Keys, Ivan Butler, responding to the protest by the teachers. He acknowledged that the ministry is aware of their concerns and that the matter is currently under review. Butler expressing confidence that the issue will be resolved shortly.
We are aware that there was a protest at Sister Mary Patricia, and we are confident that that'll be resolved in a very short time. We don't see anything like that going on for any extended period of time. Parents need to know that no classes were interrupted. Classes were in full session today. All the students receive instructions from teachers or adult supervision, and we expect the same tomorrow.
In other news, passengers traveling on the nation's flag carrier this weekend say flights were delayed for hours, causing a major inconvenience. As Shane Stubbs reports, they are demanding better service.
Bahamas Air really needs to do better.
Passengers voicing their anger after experiencing recent delays by the national flag carrier. According to accounts by arriving passengers this past Saturday evening, the delays lasted hours, leaving passengers asking questions and receiving little answers while waiting on their flights.
We would just hear that the flight was en route to, from Nassau to Freeport to the U.S., to Florida.
We were not informed of any of the delays.
The next time we heard an update, not an update, we saw a switch in the time, it was 6:30, we were still there.
They still posted, even before we were leaving, that the flight was 1:25 departure, and we didn't leave till, what, 7:10 maybe?
It was just chaotic. It was crazy.
It also left those with family members waiting irate. As one parent described it, her daughter was set to travel out of Nassau into Freeport on the 4:30 flight that Saturday afternoon and did not arrive until after 8 p.m. However, that parent was upset with the favorable treatment certain passengers were receiving.
He didn't feed them in, make sure that they were straight in the fence. You had a white lady plane and they give her a whole reimbursement of her ticket and give her a hotel room and call a taxi to pick her up. It's like a spit in the face, a slap in the face, whatever you want to call it.
And as one passenger described, she remained patient for the most part, but grew frustrated as her delay lasted for quite some time. She maintained she would still choose Bahamas Air, but hopes to never experience what she did ever again.
It's been a long day. Started up in the airport all night the night before, and here it is, first thing in the morning again. So I asked her what happened. I tried to understand if you have plane issues, you know, you need to take care of the airline. She told me they did not have a stewardess. Somebody called in and they didn't have a stewardess.
We did reach out to Managing Director of Bahamas Air, Tracy Cooper, to receive comment on the delays, but he says he had no information to give and declined comment at this time. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Switching gears now, beautifying the city of Freeport one roundabout at a time is the intention of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee as they unveiled new concrete sculptures at the roundabout on West Atlantic Drive and Pioneers Way. Chairperson Akira Wilchcombe explaining the importance of the committee's role in the community and the significance of the Stingray sculptures.
We want to continue the theme, this environmental theme throughout the city. Looking at our roundabouts, we're now going to evolve into our flora and just demonstrating what our flora looks like to persons who are passing by. We want our children to enjoy these images, some of them who may never, swim with stingrays, and we want them to see these creatures and live things in our environment, in our natural environment. And so today it's a pleasure to see the unveiling of these species.
The former Governor General, His Excellency Sir Arthur Folkes, attending the unveiling ceremony on Sunday, along with executives at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The new sculptures are the third environmental mural molded by artist Jackie Boss, who also created Coral Fan at the Coral Road Roundabout and Seahorse murals at the roundabout at West Settlers Way and West Atlantic Drive.
These sculptures behind me are dedicated to the theme of environmental protection and awareness, which is a good, strong, and important campaign, particularly for an island. I would like the community of Freeport, and in fact throughout Grand Bahama and the country of the Bahamas, to view these artworks as a gift to the community. I may have created the art, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority has facilitated their public presentation, but as a public artwork, they no longer belong to any one person, but rather to the entire community.
Well, in news from the Crime Beat, police on Grand Bahama investigating a kidnapping and armed robbery which took place on Thursday, March 23, 2023. Reports indicated it was shortly after 9 p.m. while at Coral Gardens basketball court when the victim was approached by two males armed with a high-powered weapon and a knife. The men ordered the victim into the back seat of his blue Nissan March and drove to an area near the airport road. While there, the victim was able to open the door of the vehicle and make good his escape into nearby bushes. The suspects then drove off in the victim's vehicle, which also contained his wallet and an undetermined amount of cash. The victim described both males as slim-built, dark complexion, 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 10 inches tall. This matter is still being investigated. Meanwhile, police in Grand Bahama have arrested a 62-year-old male for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. The incident occurred on Saturday, the 25th of March, 2023. According to reports, between the hours of 10:45 p.m. and 4:05 a.m., officers attached to the Southwestern Division acting on intelligence executed a search warrant on a residence situated in Williams and Russell's Town. While doing so, the officers discovered one black pistol, one shotgun, and a quantity of ammunition. As a result, a male resident was taken into police custody. Well, businesses in the 8 Mile Rock community to be highlighted at a business expo. Stay tuned. We'll have that story, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition returns.
Storewide East Easter sale you've been waiting for is happening March 31st and April 1st at Dolly Madison. This is your opportunity to fill your home with the latest and greatest appliances and accessories at prices that won't break the bank. Get 10% off on all appliances and 15% off in all other departments. This Friday and Saturday is your chance to make your home a haven of comfort and style at Dolly Madison's store-wide Easter sale. Pizza Hut Freeport has the perfect deal for you. Order a large one-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $24.70 with that. Choose your favorite topping and enjoy our fan-favorite cheesy breadsticks with an ice-cold 2-liter drink. Available at Pizza Hut for delivery, carry-out, and curbside. Order today. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
Women of Grand Bahama, take control of your health and wellness. Join Let's Talk Women's Group on April 1st at the Old Bahama Bay Hotel. Guest speakers, informative seminars, and more. Call 441-6311 for info. See you there.
Keep it cool with Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, located number 3 Milton Street. Phone 602-5467. Due to Carefta trials airing live on the ZNS network, ZNS Health Zone will air Wednesday, March 29th at 5:30 p.m.
We did a biopsy, and they found out that I only had 15% kidney function.
That's when he told me, your kidneys are failing. And I was like, what?
According to the Bahamas Kidney Association, that about 10 to 13% of our adult population in the Bahamas suffer from kidney disease.
We're finding kidney failure in a lot more younger people.
ZNS Health Zone will air Wednesday, March 29th at 5:30 p.m. Tune in.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. It is a celebration of excellence. Greg Newbold Jr. from Clean Heart Promotions is on a mission to recognize and honor Bahamians from all walks of life on their accomplishments through a voting poll system online. Grand Bahamians will select their choice of winners in different categories, and that particular winner will be receiving an award. The show will be held at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom on June 23rd at 7 p.m. and will also include entertainment and special guest appearances. Newbold Jr. suffered from a brain aneurysm, but he did not let that stop him from successfully staging a long planned out dream. He explains the vision is to bring together business owners, local artisans, and more for a gathering to promote Bahamian excellence.
People be going to work every day, and people just going there doing it and just going, but we also show people appreciation for their what their work they doing. You know what I mean? So it's good for me because I like to help people and show them, like, you feel like people don't see you, but people see you.
The promoter reveals that the voting system is open and can be found on Instagram and Facebook. When asked about his favorite part of the show, he said unity and the message behind it.
Like when you go in the States and you go look at the awards and the Grammys, what's going on around, like I wanted exactly like that, but from Freeport, because people just don't remember, but Freeport, because we need to start doing for ourselves.
Performances will be held by Grand Bahamians, Pastor Simeon Oughton, Papa Smurf, Dano, and many more. Newbold Jr. says that the plan is also to make the show an annual event, serving the community with a platform that ensures all Bahamians are continually recognized for the talent they bring to the island. What a beautiful initiative. Well, Shane Stubbs is up next with your check on sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to yet another edition in sports. Guess what? It was an action-packed weekend, but let's begin with soccer. The Grand Bahama Soccer Club bringing parents and players into the fold as coaches with a certification course to assist with their grassroots program.
They make perfect coaches because obviously they have kids. One of the things that we notice now is the lack of volunteer support. That's all around. I think a lot of sports, a lot of organizations are struggling with it. For now, it's a one-day course. We're hoping to put more of these clinics on. We've done so in the past.
Player development is key, and Rick Morandini out of Canada says it starts with the parents and players.
Once they see how simple it is and how involved they can get with their kids, then we get more buy-in that way.
And here's Stubbs on what's next.
We get them involved in our grassroots. So grassroots is what we call just anybody can come out and play. April 1st, we're going to have our last Saturday, and just to get them immersed in it, we want to offer more courses like this to expose them to the terminology, expose them to what we're expecting.
From the pitch to the diamond, the Lions are picking up steam in the 12U division after a 7-1 win over the Red Sox. Head coach Donovan Cox, Malik Israel, and Ryan Wood on their recent progress.
We're on a 2-game win streak right now. The guys starting to hit the ball pretty good, starting to pitch pretty good.
Our season going forward, I think we could be good. We just a brotherhood. We have a lot of chemistry, so at least us playing good together.
And another score from Amera Park, the Lions also defeated the Royals 7-2. In 8U action, the Bucks defeated the MSC Red Sox 24-14. The FES Predators blasted the Lions 15-5. In 10U play, the Bucks outlasted the Lions 11-4. Fortune 360 then defeated the Bahama Rock Red Sox 10-6. And in 15U action, Fortune 360 quieted Legacy Baseball 10-2, and the Lions took a bite out of Legacy Baseball 10-6. And lastly in sports, some highlights from the B3A's High School Nationals Carifta Trials. BMES's Kiasha Thomas would dominate the field with a time of 56.28 seconds. And at 13 years old, she would meet the under-17 girls 400-meter Carifta standard. Jack Haywood's Zion Shepherd would claim the national title, and the under-17 boys' 400 meters with a time of 50.37 seconds. Sunlands Natalia Dorset will also become the national champion in the under-20 girls 100 meters, running a time of 11.87 seconds. And Tabernacle's Erin Barr will take the under-17 girls' 1500-meter national crown, dominating with a time of 5 minutes and 9.09 seconds. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your update in sports this evening. I'm Shane Stubbs. Be safe and be great.
It's now time for your Health is Wealth Monday Tip.
Sleep is the golden chain that ties our health and our bodies together. When we get sufficient good quality sleep, we see improvement in our immune systems, our learning, our attention spans, our creativity, and our memories. When we don't get sufficient good quality sleep, we increase our risk for making mistakes and having accidents. We increase our risk for diabetes, heart disease, dementia, stroke, and depression. So here are some tips for healthier sleep. Go to bed and wake up the same time every day. Use the hour before bed for quiet time. Before bedtime, avoid bright artificial lights from the TV, phone, and computer screens. Avoid heavy meals, nicotine, and caffeine before bedtime. Spend at least 15 minutes outside daily and be physically active. Remember, prioritizing sleep is good self-love. I'm Dr. Karis Thompson-Major, and remember, your health is your wealth.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. time to renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Island Bedding and Furniture is celebrating 20 years in business.
And Grand Bahama, we are doing it big.
We are hosting a huge anniversary celebration, March 24th through the 25th. That's Friday and Saturday. Big markdowns, bundle deals, free merch, and more.
It's a party. So come and see us at Island Bedding and Furniture and toast to 20 years of serving the Bahamas.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
Ice the coconut got this. Cocoa gingerin madness. Juiciness, ice the back. This sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice honey. I think all of my love me. Sweet like a sugar in a watch it go ba 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 ba. 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 Sweet like a sugar in a
New Click Platinum flavor. Flavored beers with a kick of rum. Make it platinum.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
The first bold steps were taken on the road to independence.
So Black Lives mattered in that generation that led to independence. The late Dr. Martin Luther King frequent Bimini on a regular. People didn't know he came to West End too. I have a picture with Sir Sidney Poitier and my Aunt Pearl on the beach in West End.
During that period, West End was the capital of Grand Bahama. But it was the capital in more than just a name. It was, in fact, the business center for the entire island of Grand Bahama.
From the cardboard days where you push your window out with the stick and you knew everybody around you. And they looked out for your children, they looked out for everyone in the community.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Kimberly Moss, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We do appreciate your support. And we also want to send this one out to all the folks down there in Bimini, especially Miss Adelie from Big Game. I hope you're watching. Thank you so much for the lovely words. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, BPSU secures millions. The cause of Bimini's mass fire, Shantytown appeal, and in sports, Carifta trials wrap up. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, switch to BTC today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The road's not been easy, but after a protracted negotiation process, the Bahamas Public Services Union today signed on the dotted line of a multi-million-dollar industrial agreement. Cleopatra Murphy starts us off this evening.
A contentious negotiation process came to an end as the Bahamas Public Services Union and the government signed a new $40 million industrial agreement at the Ministry of Finance Monday for its more than 4,000 members. Among the agreement's benefits, retroactive July 1st, 2022, that expires June 30th, 2025, is the public service minimum wage increase that takes salaries from $11,450 a year to $13,520 a year. Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, outlined some of the compensation, including salary increases along the pay scale.
Disturbance allowance was increased from $1,200 to $1,500 per year, and a transport allowance was increased from $250 to $300 per month. There were other allowances and mileages. Another great caveat was the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Defense Force, and the Bahamas Departments of Corrections received an increase in pay from $18,000 per annum to $20,000 per annum.
A shift premium was also introduced, and while no one gets all they asked for, Glover-Roll admits the agreement is a good first step. BPSU President Kimsley Ferguson says there are moments of disagreement, but assures union members can now get their just due.
There were persons who were qualified based on the standards that we do have in the industrial agreement for hazard allowance, which were those security officers as well as persons at the meteorological office. Again, we are still awaiting a response in that regard. We were seeking either to get some insurance coverage or the hazard allowance for those individuals, particularly those security officers in the schools.
Ferguson says while there was a uniform allowance increase, police, defense force, and prison officers have greater needs.
Based on the increase in the cost of living, we find that the increase could have been looked at for those individuals in a special way. And so that communication or that item was forwarded to the negotiations team. I'm advised that consideration may be given to it. We don't have a definitive response in that regard at this time.
In terms of increments, the union president says he is pleased with what the union has secured for its members at the low end of the salary scale, but he is eager to return to negotiations when the agreement expires. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now, despite today's signing, industrial action could, however, still be looming for the BPSU, and here's why. The union signed an industrial agreement with the Public Hospitals Authority in late January, committing to hazard pay for certain categories of workers. But President Kimsley Ferguson says the authority has not lived up to its promises. Ferguson is appealing to the government for its intervention. As he says, he recently spoke with the Prime Minister about the matter and was assured the payments would come.
To date, those payments have yet to be made. Those payments would have been retroactive from the 1st of July 2022. And so we have been in dialogue with the managing director regarding the same, who has indicated that she must wait until the funding is forwarded from the Ministry of Finance to satisfy those payments. We are indeed very concerned, and we have sought to work along with the PHA in this particular regard. But whatever the holdup is, nobody's communicating the same to us.
Ferguson plans to meet with his members as early as Tuesday to decide their next move.
We cannot assure the Public Hospitals Authority or the government of Bahamas, for that fact, that there won't be some form of industrial action if we are unable to get a definitive response on when those payments would be made. We have signed in good faith, and we are hopeful that the government would do their part. There are persons who are working in an environment that is hazardous to their health. There is the likelihood that these individuals can communicate ailments to their family members, and so we are very concerned.
Well, when contacted, Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority, Aubinet Roll, admitted funds for the union are outstanding, adding that she's awaiting for it to be released.
Yes, the industrial agreement was signed. As a part of the agreement, it did include hard to pay. And I'm just waiting for that funding, and then we'll be able to proceed. That will be all of the BPSU members. So all of those who are not under the Bahamas Doctors Union, the consultants and nursing.
The PHA Academy holding its inaugural graduation ceremony, during which those who successfully completed the EMT Basic Training Program, the EMT Advanced Training Program, and the Patient Care Advocate Certificate Program were recognized. Fern Carey reports.
The group of 32 healthcare professionals who successfully completed a course of study at the PHA Academy includes those who graduated from the EMT program and are charged with providing life-saving care as first responders in the Family Islands. The remaining healthcare professionals successfully completed the Patient Care Advocate program and will serve as liaisons between clients and all components in the public healthcare system with a view of improving the client experience. They are the first to graduate from the PHA Academy, as it positions itself to be the gold standard in healthcare training in that arena. Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Michael Dowell, says a significant number of those graduates are from the Family Islands.
I trust that you understand just how significant and how important this particular training is to you, particularly those who will be deployed in the Family Islands. You are trailblazers, and the work you do will set the pace for all who will come after. And trust me, more will come after from this first cohort. I'm advised that there were many applicants for this opportunity to become emergency medical technicians serving in the Family Islands, and you are fortunate to be selected.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, charged members of the graduating class to be beacons of hope for persons suffering a medical emergency.
When you discover what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this moment in history to do it. Do not just set out to do a good job. Set out to do such a good job that the living, the dead, or the unborn could not do it any better. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my charge to you today. It is a charge to care, a charge to stand in your good character, a charge to be excellent in your service.
Valedictorians Creasier Rolls, Danica Sayers, and Crystal Jones, a cancer survivor, reflected on their accomplishments.
We are entering an environment that is constantly on the move. The skills and knowledge we have gained whilst training at the PHA Academy would undoubtedly serve us well.
This has been challenging, but someone special told me, the greater the battle, the sweeter the victory, and we sure came out victorious. With that being said, allow me to say congratulations to the fellow graduates on a job well done.
Overall, the experience was not bad. I was determined to devote myself and do my best. I was placed with a fantastic group of individuals who shared in my excitement. We worked effectively together and supported each other throughout the course.
Now, these graduates are expected to play a pivotal role in the public healthcare system once they are deployed in the coming months. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Meantime, occupational health and safety are concerned the world over, and you can include here in the Bahamas, where a new organization's been formed focused on addressing key issues. Jiminita Swain has that story.
You look at the National Insurance Board annual reports, you would see like over 1,200 industrial dismemberments, being processed a year, and up to like 50 industrial deaths a year.
Vice President of the newly formed Bahamas Association of Safety Professionals and consultant with Jeff's Consultants, Eustacia Jennings, highlighting the need for businesses to take a more proactive approach in preventing occupational accidents. Just last month, a worker in Grand Bahama was electrocuted, adding to the myriad of occupational accidents recorded annually.
We want to reduce that number because we believe that all accidents are preventable, and so we want to make sure that all our employees in the Bahamas are able to go back home to their families safe and unharmed, and so that's our agenda.
The International Labour Organization estimates that 2.3 million men and women around the world succumb to work-related accidents or diseases annually, corresponding with over 6,000 deaths every day. It's one reason the National Tripartite Council is partnering with the body. Chairman Sharon Martin putting into context why the issue is now getting traction.
Here, when we attended the 110th session of the ILC in Geneva, that occupational safety and health became number one on the agenda, and the conventions were now within what they call, it's now a priority convention.
Worldwide, the ILO states that there are around 340 million occupational accidents and 160 million victims of work-related illnesses annually. It's an issue that's very personal to this labor executive.
Someone like myself who's had so many industrial accidents, it is almost paramount that this mission fell in my lap while I'm chair to push forward, because there are so many little things that could prevent, and the prevention is what we really want to push from the NTC side. Slip and falls in hotels, that sort of stuff. We want to reduce that.
And while construction companies the world over see occupational accidents, one local contractor in the midst of constructing a new high-rise building off Collins Avenue vows to ensure his employees remain safe.
We are totally strict with it. Our security officers is at the gate to make sure that everybody come on this site, as you notice, meet all the safety requirements in terms of hard hats, vests, shoes, etc., caution tapes, and harness, so that when they go vertically high, they are safe.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jimenita Swain.
In other news this evening, an electrical shortage to blame for Sunday's massive fire in Porgy Bay, Bimini. That according to officials there. Initial reports are that a two-story home, a wooden structure, and a single-story building all went up in flames after 7:30 Sunday morning. Bimini firemen, along with residents, quickly extinguished the blaze and evacuated residents. Fortunately, there were no injuries. Here's Bimini Administrator Desiree Ferguson.
About 5 families, they lost everything that they had. And the remainder, the other 5 families that are placed, most of their, belongings were damaged due to smoke and water. They're trying to get the estimate of all the damages that was caused. So I should say, by the end of the day, we'll have all of that figures together.
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis led a delegation to the island just hours after the fire was extinguished. Ferguson says more assistance is on the ground to help those impacted by the setback.
Today we have Senator Russell and his crew in from Grand Bahama. They are doing some groundwork. They have a team of persons from the island and from the private sector of Resort World and OPAC. They're doing some cleaning at the site. And all of the victims, they are in Airbnb or hotel rooms that was rented to them. They are comfortable, they have food, water, and clothing.
Health and Wellness Minister Dr. the Honourable Michael Jarvel also keeping a close eye on the progress of investigations into that fire on Bimini Sunday. He accompanied the Prime Minister to the tiny island to survey the damage wrought.
I must say that we had an opportunity to speak with the families who were directly affected as a result of the fire, and we toured the facility. The Prime Minister and all the relative ministers who need to bring support to the residents of Bimini, we have already been instructed with our mandates, and that is going on as we speak. I also had an opportunity to tour the clinic in Bimini at Baileytown, and I'm pleased to report that this week we will finally award the contract for the remedial work at that particular facility that has been affected by the tropical depression and heavy rains that came that way a few weeks ago.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Are you overpaying for low speeds with your internet provider? Stop wasting your money. Switch to BTC for the fastest internet to the most homes in the Bahamas. Get up to 300 megs fiber fast speeds, up to 3 times faster than what you get now. Plus, get 164 TV channels, all for just $42.50 a month for 12 months. That means you'll save $860 for the year. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, BTC is for you. Switch to the largest fiber network in the Bahamas.
Just when Leo was about to buy this useless pair of Hands underwear, he remembered that it was Tuesday. Hungry for deals? You better come satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. Crazy Tuesdays! 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Crazy Tuesdays! A finger-licking good deal.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Andy, turns out I'm allergic to the Australian veggie spread.
Ooh, thankfully CG will cover you anywhere in the world. Remember when I went to Australia for my title fight? Trust me when I say you do not want to get in the ring with a kangaroo. It wasn't until my victory dinner with the Sultan that I realized Top Shelf Caviar doesn't agree with me. But I was covered. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm teaching your cousin how to use a flamethrower. Woohoo!
Medical cover anywhere in the world. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
Segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your story today.
The government's facing a legal challenge in its bid to demolish shantytown communities across the country. This as a group called Respect Our Homes and some 177 shantytown dwellers have filed an appeal. The legal action coming about a month after Supreme Court Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson ruled that their constitutional rights were not violated when the government issued the legal notice for shantytown dwellers to vacate the land. Following that, the government posted 260 eviction notices on unregulated communities off the SC Boodle Highway, Abaco. Turning our attention now to crime news. 2 separate shootings leave 2 men wounded. In the first incident, a 28-year-old man was walking in the area of Prince Street, Nassau Village just before 9 this morning when a man who exited a burgundy Nissan Note shot him. The injured man's in stable condition in hospital. An hour later, officers were patrolling Coxway East Street South when they spotted 3 men and a woman inside a white Nissan Cube acting suspiciously. Police intercepted the vehicle, instructed the passengers to exit. Reports are that the front male passenger refused to comply when given additional instructions and was subsequently shot after he was seen pulling out a firearm. This, however, didn't stop the suspect from running off to a nearby property. Officers pursued, and moments later, the wounded man returned to the main road where he collapsed. He's in serious condition in hospital, according to police. Also, a 40-year-old man of Rocky Pine Road here in New Providence has been arrested and charged in connection with an alleged rape on Monday, March 20th. The female victim was reportedly offered a ride while walking in the area of Bacardi Road. However, the man took her to a home in Coral Harbor where he produced a handgun and then allegedly sexually assaulted her. Investigations also continue in the case of an attempted suicide involving a tourist. From all reports, a female guest at a resort here in the capital returned to her room after taking a walk shortly after 11 Sunday and found her 46-year-old husband unresponsive on the floor of their bedroom with a number of empty prescription medication bottles. Officers from the Paradise Island Police Station were contacted along with EMS personnel who examined the man and took him to Doctors Hospital, where at last report he was said to be stable. Robert Myers steps down as chairman of the Organization for Responsible Governance. Myers led the nonprofit organization for nearly 8 years, playing a crucial role in establishing its nonpartisan mission and driving its growth to become a leading voice for accountable governance, economic development, and education reform. Myers will remain on the ORG board, with Vice Chair Galen Saunders taking over as interim chair. Myers says he looks forward to ORG remaining focused on the principles on which it was founded, all that it provides to the Bahamian people. A large number of Bahamians are processing their goods and products in the comfort of their own homes, but are not up to standard to have them manufactured and sold locally and internationally. And that's according to Global Food Safety Auditor, Consultant, and President of Food, Health, and Environmental Safety, Ricardo McQueen. McQueen says sellers should aim to get their products up to standards, as failure to do so could pose a number of food hazards and health risks.
There is a law in Florida called the Cottage Food Law. And what that law does, it allows persons who bake cookies and bread to be able to sell on the street. Now, when I say on the street, I mean that because you are baking, that's low risk. So the only thing that Florida wants them to do now is to have the label and the nutritional values on it. And the guidelines are set in terms of federal. Federal has the USDA and FDA, that's a federal level. So if a facility wants to be licensed federally, depending on what they're producing, everything that has to do with red meat, beef, chicken, egg comes under USDA.
As the small business owner, nutritionist Shay King says it's been quite difficult getting her CMOS products manufactured on the international market, but she says once that happens, the profits are worth the hassle.
Once I've gone through this process, I know I'll definitely be able to talk and speak to other Bahamians about the process and make it a lot easier. The thing is, if we are going to put ourselves in a position to have our products go throughout the world, we have to do the work. And a part of doing the work is starting from scratch and connecting yourself with auditors and persons that are responsible for consulting when it comes to the environment as well as food safety in order to get your products to the next level. So it is difficult, but I can tell you one thing, Mr. McQueen makes the process a lot easier and a lot smoother.
Dancers from around the world will this week assemble here in the capital to attend the International Dance Council's 59th World Dance Congress. The 5-day event, starting March 29th at Super Club's Breezes, Cable Beach, coincides with the country's 50th independence anniversary. It comprises workshops and an international dance parade this Saturday from Pompeii to Rawson Square downtown. World Congress Dance Bahamas President Dr. Ann Higgins.
I was able to establish spirituality in dance, which is liturgical dance, in the World Dance Council in 2018. The World Dance Council is all forms of dance all over the world with no discrimination. And I was able to be able, as the president, to introduce that and also have Bahamian folk dance, liturgical dance, and Junkanoo certified in the World Dance Council so that our young people can now take 150 hours and they can get credited for these hours of dance. And so it's all over the world being established, and the Bahamas is making a great name on the map for liturgical dance. Yeah.
The opening ceremony will feature many of the public and private school students showcasing various dances they learned through the Urban Renewal Program.
For the 50th, we're taking 50 dances to Paris at UNESCO, at the UNESCO building, where we will display outdoors and indoors our Bahamian culture. And this will be in liturgical dance and Bahamian folk dance, and of course, Junkanoo. And we're quite excited about it because the world has really caught on to our culture, and especially presenting it in a spiritual way.
A local straw business owner says leaving her corporate career to tap into the handicraft industry has been one of the best decisions she's ever made. And oddly enough, at the height of the pandemic, LaDawn Davis caught up with her to find out how business is going.
From pillows to passport holders, clutches to handbags, all authentically made in the Bahamas by a talented group of locals who make up Dupree Bahamas, tucked right next to the new Duff Cafe on West Bay Street. Owner Debbie Strawn says business is booming and continues to grow since opening its doors several months ago.
As people find out about us, they're coming in, and that is so good. Bahamians appreciate, they love made in the Bahamas.
The former BAIC executive says her love for the straw business was sparked from the great teachings of her grandparents, who made an honest living from the popular Bahamian craft.
Both of my grandmothers on my mother's side as well as my father's side, they were straw people. My grandmother on my father's side, my paternal Grammy, she was from Low Sound, Andros, and my mom's mother, she's from Orange Creek, Cat Island. So we grew up in straw. So after working in corporate Bahamas, I decided to just go full steam ahead in creating straw handbags. And we had a retail space in the airport, and we moved away from just straw, and then coming to this retail space last November, it just morphed into something different.
As the country pushes towards its 50th birthday in July, Strawn says Dupree Bahamas will introduce a new independence line that's sure to create a buzz among Bahamians.
And we're partnering with some other artisans to create those. They should be in store around April, middle April, end of April. And we're proud, we're excited about that, especially as we celebrate 50 years.
And for all of you budding straw vendors, those contemplating stepping into the industry or even looking for a location to sell their wares, Strawn encourages you to keep at it.
There is money to be made in the business. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You heard the DPM talk the other day about the amount of visitors who come to the country. So as those visitors come to the country and they tour the various streets and go to the various sites in New Providence, they come and spend some of their money with us.
And while keeping up with the demand and product choices are said to be serious challenges, Strawn's hopeful tourism numbers continue to increase and, by extension, business to the straw industry. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, now time for the weekly poll question, and this week we're asking, should there be a margin increase for gas station operators, yes or no? To participate, simply log on to our website, www.znesbahamas.com, as well as any of our social media platforms to answer. The poll's final results will be aired on Friday, and as always, thanks for participating. The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
Everybody's idea of home is different, so every mortgage should be unique, shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
We're here at the Palm Beach International Boat Show. This is particularly important for the Bahamas, so we have such a close connection with West Palm Beach and the islands of the Bahamas. We will make sure that they know that we are a hop, skip, and a jump away from their shores to paradise. Today we spoke with IGY Marinas earlier and speaking on the super yacht sector and how to keep more of our friends on super yachts in our waters of the Bahamas. We have also been speaking with FlexJet. It's important to have the aircraft component and charter helicopter component so they can go from their home straight to the back of their boat on the marina or private island or another destination in the Bahamas. Being able to get to the many keys spread throughout the Bahamas is very important, and partners like FlexJet will help our friends from abroad be able to get to the Bahamas more quickly so they can have more fun on the sandy beaches. While we're here, it's important to highlight what the Bahamas is, not only the sea and the sand, but the culture and the people. So Bahamas Night's one of those nights where we get to speak with and interact with our partners in a more intimate fashion. So we're able to discuss any challenges that they may see, have questions back and forth, and just have a real nice event to highlight the culture and to disseminate some of the information that they may be looking at that they don't want to read, they want to hear directly from our mouth.
For more information on the Palm Beach International Boat Show, visit tourismtoday.com. I'm Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Are you looking at my dress? You ready for this big party?
Party? Girl, you're gonna have to change your birthday because I can't make that. After my party, I get a cough, I start having a fever, and then I even had a sore throat. I thought it was the flu. Come to find out it was COVID. Girl, I think you better get tested.
What do you do now? I can't be bothered with COVID, you know.
Girl, you know it ain't never too late to change your plans. Girl, you know they got new testing sites, right? You better go to one of them.
Where are these new sites located anyway?
University of the Bahamas and Golden Gate Plaza. They're open on weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on weekends from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They even have sites in Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma, and they're opened on the weekends. Girl, the best part is, it's free.
Thanks for letting me know. I hope you feel better soon.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Executive members and staff of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas today paid tribute to the life and legacy of one of their own, Eldred Ed Bethel. The former broadcast journalist turned Bahamas ambassador died earlier this month following a long illness. Carla Palmer reports.
The late Eldred Ed Bethel was many things to many people over the course of his 82 years here on Earth. A husband, father, brother, friend. And as a veteran broadcaster journalist for the majority of his adult life, starting out his career at ZNS, the late Bethel is highly regarded by his contemporaries as having been one of the best and the brightest in the industry. Charles Russell, a former assistant general manager at ZNS, now president of the BCB's Retirement Association, knew the late Bethel well.
Because of his vast knowledge in broadcasting and the history of BCB itself, he was one of our historians and fact checker who would scold us often when we didn't get our facts right.
Executive Chairman of the BCB, Mr. Picewell Forbes, says he was inspired by the late Eddie B., who exuded confidence in his speech and exhibited self-respect in manners and address.
Prince has gone home. A broadcaster extraordinaire, a nationalist, a stickler for detail and preparation. That was Ed Bethel.
For acting general manager Andrew Burrows, the late Mr. Bethel was an insanely generous person who, although held a high-ranking position while at ZNS, found time to associate with staff at all levels.
Ed straddled worlds in broadcasting. Ed, yes, was the face of the network, the voice of the network, the person that would cover the prime minister, you know, the guy, the top of the top. But Ed never restricted himself to moving in that circle.
The minister responsible for broadcasting, the Honorable Miles Laroda, described Mr. Bethel as positive, in spite of some challenges he may have had.
You know, if any of us were told that at birth that we'd live until 82, we'd all take it right then. But even then, we still feel that we were robbed of some more years of Ed.
Peppered with songs of joy, faith, and hope, Sister Cherise Ferguson also brought words of inspiration.
Mrs. Bethel, bereaved family members, my colleagues, board members, family, friends, visitors alike, I know that you know exactly what it means to be brokenhearted. I believe that you know what it means to be crushed.
A proposal has been put forward to have Studio A, the very studio where the memorial service was held, named in honor of the late Eldred Ed Bethel. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Sometimes life hints at your next step, sending you signs all around, even in unexpected places, to lead you in the right direction. The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage and switch to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch your mortgage to Scotiabank. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. Paying less gives you more when you switch to Scotiabank.
Get cash back from the Water and Sewage Corporation. Receive $10 off your bill when you complete our online survey. We want to hear from you. Help us serve you better. Visit www.wsc.com.bs to complete our survey and receive $10 off your next bill.
It's fast, easy, and rewarding.
The Water and Sewage Corporation. Committed to growth, committed to quality.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs,
Using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
What if I told you that the future is here? That is not some magical door we walk through, but a place we create. It's home. The place where you can download a 2-hour movie in seconds and stay connected to loved ones even when traveling far from home. The fastest, most secure, and reliable way to stream the internet, so you can do what you want, whenever you want. Where internet moves at lightning speeds, smoother and more reliable than anything you've ever seen. This future-proof technology can take you to worlds that you can only imagine. That's the power of Alive Fiber. The future is here. The future is home. The future is Alive Fiber.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. These 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Bahamians are rediscovering Grand Bahama through immersive staycation experiences at Lighthouse Point Grand Lucaya. Pamper yourself at our Senses Spa or savor exotic cocktails by the sea. Unwind and enjoy serenity, 18 holes of golf, fine dining, romance, business conventions and meetings, grand outdoor events. For Bahamas resident rates at Lighthouse Point, call 242-373-1333 or WhatsApp message 827-8195.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
On March 31st, Phil Stubbs at the Farm. Tickets on sale now. $50 general admission, $75 VIP, $150 for the Skybox party. For Skybox rates, call 525-4180. Get your tickets online at BahamasEtickets.com. The Beauty Shack, Proud Mary, or any Flying Dutchman location. Joining Phil on stage, Veronica Bishop, Ancient Man, Mr. Anderson, Phil Stubbs, live in concert. Friday, March 31st at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Upgrade
upgrades to the Maikau constituency set to begin soon. A contract recently signed for land surveys on Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island and Long Key in preparation for microgrid installation, part of the government's priority on climate change and renewable energy. The identified sites are on or near existing Bahamas Power and Light power plants on those islands. Now, the scope of work considers the installation of various sizes of utility-scale solar PV systems with battery energy storage. The surveys will provide an official inventory of land in the southern Bahamas. If you're an Airbnb connoisseur and have deep pockets, this next story has your name all over it. The world's most expensive Airbnb can be found right here in the Bahamas, a private island to be exact. According to a list compiled by S-Money, a stay at David Copperfield's Musha Key in the Exumas will run you into $60,000 a night. In return, you're promised the most luxurious rental experience of your life. Just consider the fact that there's a 10,000 square foot residence featuring 12 bedrooms and 13.5 bathrooms. There's an additional 5-bedroom home, the accompanying guest villa, and one of the others of the 5 total homes. Further, there's a staff of 30. Those of you interested, well, at last report, the booking was still wide open for April. Well, it's now time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Temperature warm, 82 degrees. The relative humidity 59%. We have southwest winds at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.7 millibars. That's 30.08 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Key as well. Marshall, Babaco, 80 degrees. The Berry Islands, 82. Alistown, Bimini, also 82 degrees. 81 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 80 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andrews at 81. 82 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 80 degrees. 81 in Georgetown, Exuma. 81s again in Ragged Island, Clarence, Down Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthew Town, Inagua, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, southeast winds, those speeds just around 10 to 15 knots. The wave height is 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide will occur at 1:34 in the morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, east to southeast winds a little stronger at 15 to 20 knots. Wave height 4 to 6 feet. So caution flags and placed tonight for the central and southeastern islands tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, in the northwestern part of our country, and this will take us right into the middle part of the week, Wednesday. Those winds will remain out of the south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots ahead of a weak frontal system which is heading this way. 2 to 4 feet will be the wave heights. Low tide occur at 8:09 in the morning tomorrow with a high tide at 1:55 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, also through Wednesday, easterly winds, they will be reducing 10 to 15 knots, so we'll drop the caution flags for the central and southeastern islands tomorrow. Wave heights down 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Our free pick, pack, delivery service gives everyone in the Family Islands a chance to shop a variety of club products and prices right from home. Simply call or WhatsApp your order to 242-677-7266 or email order@amlfoods.com. A friendly customer service representative is waiting to pick, pack, and deliver your order to the mailboat of your choice. The options are truly endless, and with membership, you save even more. So order today and let CostRite pick, pack, and deliver right to you.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point, call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
Bahamians are rediscovering Grand Bahama through immersive staycation experiences at Lighthouse Point Grand Lucaya. Hamper yourself at our Senses Spa or savor exotic cocktails by the sea. Unwind and enjoy serenity, 18 holes of golf, fine dining, romance, business conventions and meetings, grand outdoor events. For Bahamas resident rates at Lighthouse Point, call 242-373-1333 or WhatsApp message 827-8195.
Wednesdays just got a whole lot better. Introducing Whopper Wednesdays at Burger King Nassau. Get a flame grilled Whopper for only $5.50, including VAT. Yes, you heard that right. This Wednesday, you can indulge in the classic flame grilled Whopper you love, made your way for only $5.50. Stop by your favorite Burger King Nassau location this Wednesday and enjoy a Whopper for only $5.50. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Monday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Day 2 of the combined Carifta Trials and National High School Championships wrapped up on Sunday with St. Augustine's College in first place. The Big Red Machine led all schools for a total of 377 points. Queens College Comets remained in second position with 317, and St. John's College followed them both with a combined team score of 129. The morning session of Day 3 kicking things off today. Not a lot of events on the lineup. You would see the boys 110 hurdle heats as well as the girls 100-meter hurdles, but it would be over in the field events where we'd see some stellar performances as Queens College's Lanisha Lubin would qualify for the girls under 17 long jump with a leap of 5.55 meters, and Zach Camara Strachan would set a new national high school record in the girls U17 javelin.
Hey, so the jump was really, I wasn't planning on, doing that, but I was just planning to qualify, but I exceeded the qualification mark, and I tried my best, and I tried to focus, and I want to give all the recognition and all the praise to my Heavenly Father, because without him, that wouldn't have been possible. I'm just recovering from an injury, so it's really a miracle that this happened.
Expecting to throw 43.69. I was trying to throw further than that, but that's what I got.
Just tell me a bit about now the possibility of representing your country at Carifta.
It felt good to represent for my country and the people. I can't wait to throw at Carifta so that I could throw with more people to make me throw further, because when I was out there, I had a competition, but now I did not any.
3 goals in the first 34 minutes was all Trinidad and Tobago needed to come away with a 3-zip victory over the Bahamas in men's soccer action at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium on Friday. The loss has the Bahamas senior men's national soccer team sporting a 1-4 win-loss record to currently sit in third with 3 points in Group C action in the CONCACAF Nations League. Trinidad and Tobago remains in second place with 12 points and a 4-1 record.
The game was very good. I think we were in a stage that we wanted to press and get up high up the pitch, closer to goal. So that's why we tried to push up our team. But overall, if we look at it, it's a young team. Most of these guys 21, 20, some of these guys 16, but there's no excuse here.
My play today, wanted to defend the ball, no goals, no balls over the top, and stick to the plan we had to come out to the game. It's a tough loss, but we just have to learn from our mistakes.
It's a good pleasure playing with them. They're young, and being an older player on the team, they gotta learn from them, and they learn from each. We gotta learn from each another to make the team better. So playing with them is very good. It's a young squad, like the coach said. We gotta have them going. We gotta start young and have a mix with veterans and to keep the team solid.
The great men's basketball team's magical run to the Elite Eight came to a dramatic end with a 57-56 loss to the 5th seed San Diego State Aztecs on Sunday afternoon in the South Regional Final in Louisville, Kentucky. The Blue Jays ended their season with a 24-13 record. Payman Frederick King finished with 2 rebounds and 3 minutes of action. From the association, Buddy Hield continuing his chase for 300 made triples tonight in a matchup against the Mavericks. Hield has a league-leading 265 shots from deep with the Golden State Warriors and fellow Bayman Klay Thompson on his heels with 261 made triples. Hield is averaging 3.7 made three-pointers per game with 10 games left in the season. He is on pace to eclipse his own single-season record in made three-pointers, which is 282. If he continues making three-pointers at this clip, he will likely go over the 300 made three-pointers mark. If he does that, he will join only 2 other players in NBA history to do it, the Warriors' Stephen Curry and the Philadelphia 76ers' James Harden. That's been Look at Your Sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.